Hello friends and welcome to another Tabletopics with Bill. Today we're going to be talking about cheating, fudging dice, and a lot more.
I know more than you.
So what does it mean to cheat in a tabletop role-playing game? This has been an ongoing topic of discussion. Whether we're talking about fudging dice rolls or some other schemes that bend or break the rules, it is something that I feel like sharing my thoughts about. Let's start with my credentials and why you should consider my opinions. I've been playing role-playing games for 45 years. I started playing AD&D in 1978 when my older brother, who picked up the game from friends at school, taught me how to play. I was only 5 years old, so he kept it pretty simple. But even at that age, I understood that there were dice and numbers, you played a character, and you made decisions. As I got older and played more, I learned more about the importance of the rules, what ability scores and bonuses meant, and why following the rules of the game was important. So let's start off this discussion about cheating with dice rolls, since that seems to be the most prominent debate. DMs or GMs can fudge a dice roll by actively deciding that the actual roll of the die wasn't what they wanted, so they change the roll to be less effective or more effective. Suppose the DM has created an encounter that is perhaps a bit out of balance, where the monsters in the encounter are far more deadly than the DM anticipated. During the combat, the characters in the party have taken tremendous amounts of damage and might even be on the brink of death. So the DM, in an effort to spare the party and his or her players from disappointment, starts making the monster's attacks miss, or possibly they hit but do less damage. While this might come from a place of caring and compassion, it is effectively lying and cheating. The DM isn't taking what the dice rolled. On the other hand, suppose you have a DM who might be a little vindictive. Maybe the DM keeps rolling poorly for the monsters and the party is getting cocky, so the DM starts making up the dice results to be higher, hitting more often, or doing damage more impactfully. If the DM just makes up numbers that weren't actually what is on the die, that is also lying and cheating. How do you prevent DMs from fudging dice rolls? Simple. You make everyone at the table roll in the open. No screens for the DM, or if the DM wants to use a screen, then roll the dice in front of the screen so the players can all see. DMs or GMs aren't the only ones who can cheat. Players can be guilty of this too. Whether it's rolling up a character or making rolls for combat, skill checks, or saving throws, players can cheat as well. Here are some examples. When me and my friends were young players, I'm talking like ages 6 to 10 years old, we would roll up characters at home. Of course, we didn't actually roll, we just made characters with ridiculously high ability scores, and we thought we were slick if we put a couple low rolls in there to make it believable. It got to the point where nobody believed each other, so in 4th grade, around age 10, we implemented the witness system. This meant that if a player was rolling up a character, it had to be witnessed by 2 other people, and those people had to initial the character sheet. This was at age 10. So as kids, even then, we knew that it was important to the integrity of the game to have characters that were rolled fairly. Players can also cheat on dice rolls while playing the game. You all know that you've either seen someone do it or you've done it yourself. It's that moment when you rolled poorly and you quickly pick up the die and flip it to a higher number while you think nobody is looking. Or you drop a die instead of rolling it for a few seconds. That is cheating, plain and simple. How do you prevent this? Only let one player roll dice at a time and make a rule that they can't pick up or move the die until after they've rolled and someone has seen the result. Even when you call for initiative to be rolled, make sure each player does their initiative roll one at a time, record the result, then move on to the next player. It might slow things down a little bit, but honesty supersedes the slight delay in your game pace. At this point in the video, you might be thinking, Bill sure does have some trust issues. Valid, but at the same time, I've played with people all over the world, in small groups, large groups, online, and in person at conventions and game stores. Cheating is something that can happen anywhere, with anyone, of any age, at any time. Games have rules. Monopoly, Risk, Life, Scrabble, all of them have rules. Sports has rules. When people don't play by the rules in sports, there are penalties or fouls. So even though tabletop RPGs are all about having fun, You can't mess with the rules. But cheating goes beyond even dice rolls. When players don't keep track of their spell slots, that's cheating. When players who have thrown or ranged weapons don't keep track of their ammunition, that's cheating. Key points, sorcery points, any feature or trait that has limited uses, all of that has to be tracked honestly. And when players don't keep track of those limitations, that is effectively cheating. If you want to play games fairly and have actual challenges, play the games using the rules. Add rules if you want. These are called homebrew rules, but don't eliminate the entire mechanics of a game. To do so is cheating everyone at the table from having an authentic experience.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you were just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that, because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.